Tomorrow is our last full day of Stugan, so it's been 7 weeks. This is the last week, and I have. I think I'll talk about non-work stuff first because last night we have been meaning to do another bonfire for a long time. We've done one before and it's great, so we're really keen to do that, and we did that. And we also had a special meal organised by the ski centre that we're staying at, where apparently crayfish is a very special kind of tradition in Sweden. There's a special crayfish day, and you have crayfish on that day. I did not eat any crayfish, but I did drink schnapps and sing schnapps songs, which you have to do. It's mandatory in order to drink the schnapps. And ate other great food, some kind of quiche thing, which is also apparently local, which is fantastic. And then we drank a lot of beer and schnapps, and then went down, danced to Robin, which it turns out Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, is the one thing that unites all people from all countries. We all fucking love her. And then we went down and had a bonfire, and then a different Robin Baumgarten, came along and said, hey, the Northern Lights are happening. And we knew that there was a 30% chance they would happen and a 90% chance of cloud cover. In other words, we were not going to see them. It was a very small chance of it happening at all. And we ran out to the jetty across the lake and saw, I couldn't see it at first, and then I realised, oh yeah, there's just a couple of vertical shafts, very faint. And I was like, oh my god, we're seeing the Northern Lights, this is incredible. And then as we watched, it kind of got stronger and it kind of spread across the sky. And they change at just a slow enough rate that you don't see them. To me, it doesn't seem like they're moving. You never see them move. It's just, they're different. 5 seconds later, they're different to how they were before. It's really subtle. And then, eventually they were really quite beautiful, and you could see the green colour, and it was awesome. And I was kind of laughing because Robin was taking photos of it, and he has this incredible camera, and he can ramp up the light and basically do a long exposure shot. And on his camera it looks fucking amazing. Every shot you've seen, the kind of wild sci-fi incredible colours. He was taking photos that looked exactly like that, and I'm suddenly thinking shit, do they just look way worse in real life and they just come out amazing in photos? But it still did look beautiful in real life. And then we decided, okay, let's go for a swim, because we had never been for a midnight swim, and Mira kind of persuaded us to. I was thinking this is going to be freezing. So we went back to the cabin to get our things, and then as I came out of the cabin, looked up at the sky and was just holy shit! The whole sky is just incandescent green. The thing, in the 30 seconds I was inside, it's just spread to this absolutely spectacular display, and it does look like the photos. And it was just incredible. And then we ran down to the lake and we swam under the aurora borealis, and it was just incredible. It was just the best possible night. And it's really awesome that it happened right at the end, because if that had happened on the first night, the rest of the whole day would have been shit. Oh, I just called it a holiday, that's interesting. So that was just amazing, and I will link at least one photo of it in the description here. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do tonight. There is a chance of more aurora, but it's I don't know, how can it be better? So, work-wise, it's the end of Stugan, and so what I've done now is what I've done at Stugan, basically. And it's kind of all the stuff that I've been telling you about in these individual vlogs rather, has really started to come together. Not perfectly, it's not, game is not done, and it's not, whether I call it nearly done, no, it's not nearly done. But something has clicked that was really bothering me that it hadn't clicked before. I've been working on this for more than 2 years, and the thing I kept saying was I hate that I haven't nearly finished this. I wish it was nearly finished. I don't need to be finished, I just need to be nearly finished so I can start that process of just, I've got the game, I know what it is, and I can just fix it up and patch it. And because I know that takes a long time, from experience. So it was killing me that I wasn't there. And I wouldn't now say that I'm nearly finished, but the game is there. When I play it now, crazy shit happens, and I'm laughing out loud so much more often than I used to be. And it just feels like an interesting game. It just feels like when I board a ship, I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen this time. And that's the critical level. I've always talked about with Gunpoint, there was 20 missions I had to make, and once the basic mechanics were decided on, the work was making those 20 missions. And so it was it's halfway through, I've done 10 missions, and you knew how far through you were. And with a procedural game, the amount of content I make it's infinite from day one, and it's always been infinite and always will be. and so you don't know how close you are to finishing. The time when you finish is when you've made a generator that makes that content good enough that all of it is great. So it's like all of it's rubbish at first, then all of it's alright, and then all of it's like kinda good sometimes, and then you hit this threshold where like, now all of it's good, and now I've made infinite good content. And that's the dream, right? And so it's been way, way longer than I thought it was, and I don't want to give the impression that, well, I think I've been pretty clear that it's not nearly finished. Yeah, it is just a surprising game now, and I like it a lot. And it's also like, the things that are working really well, the mechanics that are interacting, they're also things that are quite easy to implement, and I can think of more of them. And now that I know what things are cool, I can definitely use that information to be better at adding new mechanics. I think there's just going to be a bunch of like really simple things where I'm like, teleporters are trivial to add. Can I give them a second? There's also like a motocross trail through here, because it was actually quite a logical thing to use a ski slope for in the summer, because it's all bumpy. Teleporters are easy to add, grenades are easy to add, guard armor types are easy to add, and really the only hard thing about doing all that stuff was I didn't know if any of it would work. I didn't have any information about what is a good game mechanic to make a stealth game interesting and complex. And so it's going to be much easier to add that stuff as I go forward, and that's really exciting. It just feels doable now. It just feels like, yes, I've got a core game that works, and everything else I build around it is going to make it better, and it is a case of finishing it. And that's what I want to feel like. I want to feel like I'm finishing my game.